Good evening, and welcome back to Election in America 2022. Tonight, we have a key Senate race that we are looking at, with incumbent Democrat Maggie Hassan trying to fend off a strong challenge from popular incumbent Republican Governor Sununu. Now, Sununu started out with a pretty big lead in the polls, but since then it's narrowed up and most polls actually have Hassan winning. The only major poll right now that has Sununu winning is Trafalgar, which, as we know, has a slight Republican lead. Rasmussen, the New York Times, and as well as the Washington Post all have Hassan winning. Now, the race ratings are kind of all over the place. Sabato's Crystal Ball and the Cook Political Report rate this race as a pure toss-up. Lean toss-up has the race as likely D, whereas Real Clear Politics is saying that has a lean Republican. According to our exit polls, 49% of people who voted today in New Hampshire have a favorable view of Maggie Hassan, compared to 44% who view her unfavorably. This is significantly lower than Sununu's 62% approval rating from the most recent polls of his job as governor. The polls have just closed. We have one Senate seat at stake tonight. Let's take a look at our first results. 12 minutes past poll closing, we have around 20% of the vote in, and as of right now, Sununu has a pretty strong lead. He's leading by around 17%. Let's then take a look at the breakdown of votes coming from the counties. Now, the yellow counties are the ones that have votes in. The gray counties have not started counting votes yet, or they haven't reported them to the UP data desk so far. Now, these counties are more Republican than Democrats, which is why Sununu has such a big lead early on. So take that with a grain of salt. But of course you'd still always rather be ahead. So it's good news for Hassan that these aren't super Democratic areas. But it's also good news for Sununu, because he'd always rather be ahead. Now, Sununu is improving on Trump's margins essentially everywhere, especially in Coos and Belknap County. Right now, the two counties that Hassan is leading in are Strafford and Merrimack County. However, Sununu is making big inroads in both these places compared to Trump's performance. It is now 8:50 p.m. on the East Coast, and we have around half of our votes in. Hassan has closed the gap, and she's only trailing Sununu by around 25,000 votes, but it's still a lead for Sununu, a race that could come down to the wire. Hassan's losing by a little over 10% right now. All the counties have started a vote count of some kind, but some are are further in there than others as a percentage. Coos as well as Rockingham have nearly finished their counts, whereas Sullivan County has only barely started it. Right now, Sununu is ahead in Coos by around 19. He's ahead in Belknap by around 23, and he is ahead in Rockingham County by 8%, which are some key counties right now. He's also ahead in the Bellwether, which is Sullivan, by around 2. And with 89% of the vote in, Sununu is holding on to his lead fairly well. It's narrowed up a little bit. It's now down to around a 20,000 vote margin for Sununu, but right now he is performing very strongly, and he's ahead by a little over 3%, around 3.3%. And with this, we can project that Sununu has won the seat, flipping the seat from blue to red. This was a big win for Mitch McConnell and the Republican Party. They needed the seat. There was not really a path for them without this seat, but now that they have it, they are still alive in the fight for the Senate. So Sununu has been elected to the Senate from New Hampshire, defeating Maggie Hassan. Now, nearly all the counties have finished their vote count with the exception of Carroll County and Sullivan County. Both these counties have slight Democratic leans, but Sununu is doing pretty well in both of them. So, as you can see right now, Sununu is winning Carroll by 6 and Sullivan by 3. These are both Biden counties from 2020, so Sununu did very well, or at least well enough, with people who voted for Joe Biden in the 2020 election. And with 100% of the vote in, the gap continued to close, but Sununu is going to win this race by around 15,000 votes and by a margin of around 3%. So Sununu has flipped the seat for the Republican Party, and it'll be interesting to see how he votes in the U.S. Senate. Now, again, every county's finished their vote count. This is the final county map. Now, Sununu, the counties, he flipped 3 counties from blue to red. Hassan didn't flip any counties. He flipped Carroll County, Sullivan County, Hillsborough County, and Rockingham County. Most notably Hillsborough, because it's one of the larger counties in the state. The deep blue county that you see, the only one that Hassan really won by a big margin was Grafton County, which is the most Democratic county in the state. She won it by around 15%. So that was it, guys. Thanks for watching this video. I know I haven't done one of these in a while, but I figured, how about I stop procrastinating, and I made one of these videos. So if you enjoyed, please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you all in the next one. Good. Goodbye.